Hey guys, I'm Pixel Dan, and this is a review of the Freddy Krueger Horror Bishoujo from Kotobukiya. That's right, Kotobukiya brings a bold new direction to their Bishoujo statue lineup. Now, Bishoujo, as you may or may not know, is a Japanese word that roughly translates to pretty girl. And what Kotobukiya is doing here is bringing some of those iconic horror villains and reimagining them for the Bishoujo lineup. So we're going to go ahead and start things off by taking a look at the first one in this series, being Freddy Krueger. Now, as you can see, she comes in beautiful window box packaging that's got this really cool kind of blood splatter effect to it, and the window fully showcases the figure both from the front and from the back side. And on the box there, we also get an image of the artwork that is done by renowned Japanese illustrator Shunya Yamashita, who reimagined Freddy Krueger to fit in with the Bishoujo lineup. So essentially what we have going on here is a bit of a gender swap. This is just Freddy Krueger done as a pretty girl, basically. So it's quite a bit different from what we are used to seeing with Freddy Krueger. Instead of being sort of an evil, demonic, burned-looking character, we actually have a pretty lady who's just sort of wearing some Freddy Krueger garb. The statue stands right at about 8 inches tall, and the sculpting and paintwork are all beautifully done, exactly as you'd come to expect from Kotobukiya. She's got a lot of those signature elements straight out of Freddy Krueger's costume, so you'll notice that she's got the fedora hat that's on top of her head, and it's sort of tattered and torn as it goes around the brim there. She's wearing that green and red striped sweater, although it's quite a bit ripped up, and she's also, of course, got that iconic glove with the claws right there on the right hand. She's got that gorgeous Bishoujo face with those very pretty green eyes and skin that is much different looking than the typical Freddy Krueger, of course. She's got very smooth and clear skin and actually has a very innocent look on her face. Her blonde hair that's coming out from her hat has a nice kind of windblown look to it as it sweeps down her back and kind of over her shoulders there. And it's done in sort of this translucent plastic, so you can kind of see through it a little bit. This is something that we've seen on a lot of Kotobukiya's Bishoujo statues. Those jean short shorts that she's wearing has a really good texture on there where they look like actual jeans, and even on the back there's a little tag on the back of her jeans that has the Freddy vs. Jason logo. And you'll notice that she's wearing mismatched stockings. The stocking on the left leg is actually a real nylon material that's wrapped around there, and she's got some really cool boots down below that. She's topped off with some scratches. Got some scratches going right across her right thigh with some blood kind of trickling out of it. And again, some scratches on her left shoulder there. So, this is quite a different take on Freddy Krueger than most people are used to seeing. For display purposes on your shelf, she also includes this figure stand that looks like a large pool of blood. It's a really cool idea for a figure stand, and it's got that really great magnetic feature to it that we've seen with a lot of Kotobukiya statues. There's just this magnetic strip that's embedded on the bottom of the base, and if you look underneath her feet, you'll notice that they got those magnets there, so that way she clings right onto that base. Perfect for display. So this certainly is a different take on Freddy Krueger, and it's certainly a bold move, exactly as Kotobukiya prints right there on the box. It's kind of got that gender swap thing going on, so instead of being, the demonic, evil, creepy-looking burnt man that haunts your nightmares, instead we have a pretty girl who's dressed like Freddy Krueger and might actually not be much of a nightmare. She almost even kind of comes across as someone who's dressing up as Freddy Krueger, something that you would see on Halloween night at a Halloween party, so there's definitely different ways you can look at this particular statue. In fact, the back of the box even says that Freddy Krueger may wear the same iconic striped sweater, hat, and bladed glove, but that's where the similarities end. A blonde vixen, this Freddy Krueger is a beauty with torn clothing, mismatched stockings, and even lacy undergarments. So, yeah, it's quite a different take on the Freddy Krueger character. And whether this is something that you'd like or not, it is still a very nicely done piece. It's got a great sculpt and a beautiful paint job, and it's definitely something unique and different to add to your collection. So, for more information on Kotobukiya and their products, be sure to check them out online at www.kotous.com and like them on Facebook at facebook.com/Kotobukiya. Until next time,